Alright guys, welcome to another beer review. I'll try not to do this too much because, yeah, face the camera towards the light source, Peter. Not going to cause any problems, is it? Gives me a nice glow from behind though, and we all know I'm partial to a bit of a glow from behind. But don't know what that's supposed to mean, by the way. You interpret it how you want to. So, a beer that I'm really excited to try from a brewery that I'm very excited to try. And this will be the first of two that I've got for now, anyway. The other one, because I've heard a lot more about the next beer that I'm going to be reviewing from these, I'm sort of saving that. But I'm hoping that this is going to be just as awesome as that other one. It sounds like it is, but I've heard a lot of good things about the brewery, so I've got confidence, and it is my first venture into this. So this is a collaboration between the Moersleutel. I know I said that slightly German. I do apologise. Out of the Netherlands, and this is a collaboration with Cervisiam out of Oslo in Norway. I'm actually surprised that I kind of pronounced both a lot better than I initially thought I would. That's probably one of the weak points about my reviews is I pronounce breweries really badly, especially from other countries. German breweries I'm not too bad at. I can kind of make them sound like German breweries, but when it comes to like breweries from countries like Norway and the Netherlands and stuff like that, I just don't want to cause offence at the end of the day. So I do apologise because I know I've not exactly pronounced those pitch perfectly. But yeah, this is a can of the Cyanide Cyclops, which is a Imperial Milk Stout at 11% ABV, brewed with water, malted barley, hops, yeast, apricot pits, and lactose. And I can't really make out the best before and canned on or batch number, just because of the lighting. But tell you what, I can make out an absolutely fantastic piece of artwork. Kind of reminds me of Jason and the Argonauts. Was it Jason and the Argonauts where he fought the Cyclops? And a bit of Toxic Avenger. And it certainly looks like the guys girls over at Cervisiam are a little bit of old school, schlockfest horror. Because, it's all green and gloopy, very toxic. Toxic Avenger, street trash sort of artwork. And yeah, I love it. Lovely bold pink background makes that cartoon image stand out even more. So I picked this up from Northern Beer Temple, and I've already spilt it all over my hands. It's like I bleed stouts, and that's one of the most pretentious fucking thing that someone will ever say when it comes to beer. I bet you there's someone who's like said that in a non-ironic way, and if you know that person or you are that person, shame on you, and put shame on them if you know someone who's ever referred to themselves like that. Maybe someone on Instagram has probably done that, because let's face it, a lot of the dick wavers are on Instagram nowadays. Anyway, let's pour this and see what we get. Almost had for a moment a ruby like hue then, as it was going in there. But yeah, use my oversized overworks glass. I pretty much described myself there, haven't I? Oversized and overworked. I'm not overworked. The only thing about my job is I wish I got paid more, but to be honest, I'm probably getting paid quite a bit more than what I should be getting paid. Anyway, the joys of being on a minimum wage job. Anyway, beer in the glass then. Anyway, how many times will I say anyway? That is looking, I'm not going to say that's jet black. That is more like a really dark sort of reddy oak. Yeah, I don't know. There's just like sort of a slight red tinge to it, which I'm not used to. But the head is looking really nice and dark. Nice compact bubbles, looking like cake batter on the top. So it's certainly looking very nice, and I'll keep my head there so the glow is nice. Glow from behind? Did I make that joke on this take or the previous take? I can't remember. Yes, this is take 2. But yeah, it's looking really nice in the glass. So let's see what we get on the nose. Chocolate. Like a gooey chocolate brownie. I'm not really getting the apricot pits too much. On the nose at least. Yeah, this is more like sweet melted milk chocolate. With a slight roasty malt character. But yeah, that's just so smelling so silky smooth. It's reserved, it's reined in, it's not in your face with any aromas, it's not overly, over promising on something that it might not deliver on when it comes to the taste. Because how many times have you smelled a beer and you thought this is like going to taste absolutely amazing? The beer tastes good, but it's like, well, if they've got that aroma, why didn't that follow through into the taste? The apricot is slowly creeping in now. Now that the beer's breathing in the glass. But it smells nice. It's just so nice and inviting. Very autumnal on the nose. And with the weather we've been having this first week of March, I think this is going to go down well. So yeah, from the aroma alone, smells damn good. Let's give it a taste. Cheers, ladies and gentlemen. Said that very clumsily, as he's got foam in his mouth. Probably should have talked before I took a sip. Wow. This is one of those beers where it's not the heaviest of bodies, but it's so silky smooth. It's a slight warmth going down, but nothing like too much. Yeah, it's chocolate cake. Sort of like a simple chocolate cake with no like cream or anything on it. The head on this beer has got such a wonderful texture I've not had from head before. It's hard to put into words, and I know that sentence could have been taken out of context. Gentle carbonation, which helps add a little bit of body and depth to the beer. But yeah, it's milk chocolate, a little bit of dark chocolate, chocolate cake, very chocolatey. It's very chocolatey actually. And I'm surprised because there's no chocolate being added. It's like they've actually brewed this stout with chocolate. And it's amazing. It amazes me how you can get that genuine flavour from a malt. It's like when you get genuine fruity flavours from a hop. The fact that you can like just a simple ingredient like malt and used properly, you can produce so many like coffee-like flavours, chocolate flavours, cakey flavours, biscuity flavours, bready flavours. As a taught to slightly burnt, the apricot came out then, I would say. You get slightly like an aftertaste of apricot pits. Was it pits? Did I mention that? Apricot pits. What are apricot pits? Are they the little bits inside an apricot? I don't know. I'm not. See, that's the funny thing. I'm not usually a big fan of apricots. I just don't find them a nice flavour. And thankfully, because I bought this thing, Imperial Milk Stout, and then when I got it home, I was like, there's apricot in there. I don't want it to be too much, and thankfully, it's not. But yeah, melted chocolate. It's a little bit of a clawing on the tongue afterwards. Sort of like, you get dry cinnamon and dry ginger. And it can leave a little bit, almost like dulls the feeling on your tongue. I'm getting that slight feel, which is intriguing. There's a slight spiciness, like allspice, coming through on this one. And it's not just like a generic imperial milk stout. There's just something about this. It's liquid chocolate cake. It really, really is, but without all the bullshit sweetness. That lactose has been used absolutely beautifully in this. It's so decadent. It's not like making me jump around the room dead excited, but it's doing the exact opposite. It's making me just want to wrap up warm, cuddle up on a couch or chair, watch TV, put the radiator on, and just, you know, just have a cozy night in. Do you know what I mean? This is paired beautifully with like Galaxy chocolate. I can imagine this going really well, specifically with Galaxy chocolate, or even dipping your custard creams in it. There's a very slight coconut character, and in that sort of way that, you know, Firestone Walker, they sometimes had a really nice coconut character in their beers, even without using any coconuts. I think the term liquid bounty gets thrown around a lot with beers like this, but this has got it. It's almost got like, it's like Tonka. You'd think that there's all these adjuncts thrown into this for additional flavour, but there's really not. It's just apricot pits and, you know, lactose are like the only sort of intriguing elements to this beer's, you know, genetic makeup. But you'd think there's all sorts thrown in there just from the combination of hops, yeast and malt. It's extraordinary. It really, really is. As I said, it's not like a big, you know, in your face, you know, queue up at the stands to get a small, you know, thimbleful Omnipollo style stout, which are they're like the sort of benchmark for insane, throw it all at the wall, see what sticks, and whatever doesn't falls into a beer, and we'll make a beer from it. Do you know what I mean? Which works a hell of a lot of the times. But you know, you taste beer like this, and you're thinking they've got to have put additional things into this to get those flavours, but they haven't. And yeah, they just burst on the scene out of nowhere as well. Obviously within the past few months, of course. But this is absolutely tremendous. And this is the one that I was looking forward to, but not as much as the next beer, which is the Intergalactic Bounty Hunter. Which reminds me, I need to get some bounty bars for that. Because fucking Simon Martin, Real Ale Craft Beer, beat me to making a bounty reference and connection to that beer. But I'm going to do clueless eating video, so that'll show Simon. Ugh. But no, that was a really good review, and he really enjoyed it. But yeah, this is awesome. It's just so smooth when it goes in your mouth. And on that note, I'm going to cut the review short. So short. None of my videos are short. So yeah, what an absolutely wonderful introduction to this brewery. And I thought I'd go dark first, because that seems to be where they're really, you know, hitting the high notes with the people whose opinions I, you know, trust the most when it comes to beer. And yeah, well worth the money as well for this compared to, you know, other beers. And yeah, big, bold, 11% ABV. I'm feeling it now, but you could just knock this back. If you chilled this down slightly, you know, you're getting like a bit more of a decadent character, but yeah, dangerous stuff. Very sticky mouth as well. Anyway, don't know why that's connected to it being dangerous, but whatever comes into my mind tends to just slip out my mouth. Anyway, so many unnecessarily crude, when taken out of context, moments in this review. But yeah, my review of Cyanide Cyclops, I'm going to give that one. I can't pick out any faults. There's nothing that I would change in this beer. So to me, it's a 10 out of 10. So if you've tried it, let me know your thoughts, opinions down below. The two breweries that I want to try more of, I want to try more Cervisiam, because I just love their logo with the sort of like space age, you know, outer space grotesque logo. Awesome stuff. I wonder if they've done like a Cannibal Holocaust style beer. Yeah, I wonder how many breweries have made a beer making reference to Cannibal Holocaust. I don't know, but there should be. Or even like Sallow from Pier Paolo Pasolini. You know, the feast scene. That would be a nice chocolate stout. If you've seen the film, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you've read the original Marquis de Sade text, you're like, huh, that's child's play. Anyway. Why was I talking about all that stuff? I don't know. I just think that's a terrific beer, and you should definitely try it if you come across it. Anyway, so if you have tried it, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. If you've tried anything from either brewery, I'd love to hear your thoughts and recommendations. Go check them out. And yeah, another absolute winner of a beer picked up from my local bottle shop, Northern Beer Temple in Wigan. Highly recommended if you're in the area. And if not, make a pilgrimage to the temple. There we go. And I'm not being paid for this review, unfortunately, but nor would I expect to, because who the fuck is going to watch it? Anyway, cheers for watching, guys, and I shall see you all later as I descend. No, I'll definitely be descending when I die, but as I ascend into the heavens. Anyway, no fancy effects because I just can't afford the budget. See you guys later.